like I'm too close.
Go to the Drake. Whatever they gonna play. It's high, but niggas won't take. Hey, I'm having my way. Said I ain't having this way. Say I ain't having this way. And like the
Alright, hopefully this is good, y'all. I'm in bed right now. I don't feel like doing the whole setup or whatever because I'm just exhausted, but I did want to come on here and still tell y'all a story time. So it's your girl jettajaye, and I'm back with another video for y'all. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and let's go ahead and get into the story. So basically, if y'all didn't know, I've been living in my apartment for about 3 years now. I think this year is gonna be either 3 or 4. I moved in like early 2020, I want to say. Early 2020, so it's about to be 3 years. Anyway, so y'all, when I first moved into this apartment, I moved in here by myself, so it's just me, like on the lease and everything. And this is gonna play into the story, so I'm telling y'all this. But so yeah, I moved in here by myself and all that. Loved the apartment. Like, I don't have any complaints. Maintenance is very like on point. They come out immediately and stuff like that. I'm never waiting, you know, like multiple days for anything to be fixed. There's not a lot to be fixed over the 3 years that I've lived here. But last summer, y'all, I started having problems. Well, I want to say, really, I was having problems with my air conditioning the first year, like that summer, but they had came out and fixed it and it was fine. And, you know, I didn't really have any other problems with it until the next summer rolled around. So summer of last year, summer last year, but yeah, I didn't really have any problems with it again until the summer of last year. So basically, as y'all can see by the title, this is about the creepy maintenance man. So all those times previous before, y'all, when I would have maintenance come, like the very first day I moved in, there were a couple cabinets like broken or like off of the track, so they came in immediately, fixed that. They left me a little paper note, which, keep this in mind too, they will always leave me this pink slip if I wasn't there or anything, or like even if I was in the apartment, they would still leave me a pink slip just saying like what they did, who was here, the date, the time, and then they would sign it. So when I first moved in here, I wasn't working from home. I didn't start working from home until the year after that. So a lot of the times when they were coming to fix stuff, like I wouldn't be here. So over the summer, of course, like when I didn't notice that the air wasn't working or whatever until I would get home, because when I went to work, oh baby, that air is off. There's no reason for the air to be on if I'm not here. I'm not going to be paying for hours of air conditioning when I'm not even in the apartment. No ma'am. So I would always turn it off and then turn it back on when I got home. And so one day I noticed like the air was not, like it was on, but it was so hot in here, like the air, the thermostat or whatever kept like going up. So it was like going up and going up. So I was like, yeah, something's definitely wrong with this air. It's been on since I got off at 5 o'clock and it's hot as hell in here. Literally. So yeah, this was like the very first time I contacted them, just saying like, you know, the air conditioning's out, yada yada. So when they came in to fix my air conditioning, they would always come to my door just to let me know like they're there. They would come into the hallway where my thermostat is, and they would like read off some numbers or whatever that they needed, and then they would leave, go downstairs, and when they came back up, they would just knock on the door and tell me it was done, and just let the air conditioning keep running and let them know if like it's not working or whatever, or if it breaks down again, right? So this happened a couple times over the very first summer. So summer goes by, whatever. I'm not really concerned about it because now I don't need the air. I'm just using the heat. So when summer of the next following year comes around, it's doing the same thing. Like the air conditioning is working for like 2 days and then it doesn't work anymore. So I would constantly be calling them when, like, I probably have all the emails. I'm telling you, I messaged them like 6 or 7 times, like throughout that, the first summer, the second summer, and then last year's summer. So last year's summer is when this story time took place, but I'm just giving y'all the background. So this would happen every single time. They would come to the door, they would come look at the thermostat, get some numbers off of it, go downstairs, fix the air conditioning unit that was outside. They would come back, knock on the door, tell me it's done, give me a pink slip, whatever. So when I started working from home, of course, I'm needing the air more now. So that's when I really started like having to message them. I would say the air conditioning would be working for like a month of the hot seasons, and then it would stop. There was one time they came by and they told me like, oh, there's a hole in your air conditioning. And mind y'all, this is pretty much the same dude that's coming by every single time. The first time it was like a different maintenance man. After that, it was the same dude, bald head dude, coming and fixing the air every time. And the process was still the same. So there was one time they came by and he basically told me like there's a hole in your air conditioning unit and that's why it keeps going out, like the fluid or whatever, y'all know, I don't know, the fluid or whatever that they put in there for the air conditioning keeps like draining out of the bottom. And he was like, we're gonna have to order a new one, but I'm not really sure when that'll be done, but I'll let you know. If you have any problems with the air conditioning, we'll come back. So I held them to that, and every time this bitch went out, I was on that phone calling them like my air conditioning just went out. So everything's good, y'all. I started working from home. They're fixing the air. I'm in here cool. I'm fine. So one time the air conditioning went out last year, and this is when there was like a heat advisory. So it was hot as hell. It was hot as fuck. It was so hot in here, y'all. Like it got up to like 85 degrees. And so I had called them and they were basically telling me, you know, I guess they were having problems at their other units because it's so hot. Everybody's turning on their air conditioning now and people are starting to figure out like there's problems, their air is not working, it's not getting cold enough, yada yada. So they were basically just telling me, we may not be able to come out today, but we will be out like, you know, tomorrow or sometime this week. Just give us a little time because they are having major problems with the air conditionings. And I think the apartment complex I live in, they own like 3 or 4 other apartment complexes like around the area. So yeah, they were just doing a lot, and they only had, I believe, 1 maintenance person, which when I first moved here, I'm pretty sure they had 2. So I don't know if the other person quit or whatever. So let's say they have this one bald man going and doing everybody's air conditioning. So it took a while. So at this point, me and my boyfriend we were going out of town like every weekend because we were both off. So we would always just take like a little day trip or a little weekend trip out of town to eat, shop, whatever, just because, I mean, why not? So this was one of the times that we had went out of town, and the maintenance person called me that morning like, we're gonna do your air conditioning or whatever, are you gonna be home? And I was like, no, I don't think I'll be home. But like I said, they've been in my apartment before without, you know, without me being here. They've been in my apartment before without me being here. So I didn't feel no type of way about them coming in here. Like, you're just coming in the hallway. I always keep my bedroom door closed. Remember that. I always close the bedroom door, the bathroom door, because you're not using my bathroom and there's no reason for you to go into my room. Anyways, y'all, I got off track. But yeah, so he was just basically like, will you be home? And I was like, no, probably not, but you can go ahead and go in there. Like, you know, you've been in there before, it's okay. So me and my boyfriend go out of town. Mind y'all, before we left, I left open, and this was just a day trip, y'all. Like, we literally came back this same night. I had left the balcony door not open, but like the screen. So we have a screen, then we have a balcony door. So I like cracked it so that the screen door is still closed, but there's like outside air coming in, so it's not as hot in the apartment. And then I had also opened up the window to my room. So if y'all can see where this is going, y'all can see where this is going. So yeah, y'all, we're gone for that day or whatever, and we come back the same night. We probably come back at like 11 o'clock. Mind y'all, after he called me and said that he was gonna come in and do the air conditioning, he never said, like, he never called me back and was like, you know, I'm here, or, you know, I finished it. Just let me know when you come home if you have any problems, blah, blah, blah. He didn't say anything. No pink slip was left, nothing. And I told y'all, they always leave me a pink slip. They always come up and tell me like they're done, whatever. So he did not do that. So I was already like, well, maybe they didn't come. Like, I don't know. Maybe he got busy because, like I said, he's the only person working on all these other properties. So I was just like, maybe he didn't come. So me and my boyfriend come home, and when we get in the door, I immediately noticed that the screen door is closed. Not the screen door, but the balcony door is closed. So I'm like, okay, no big deal. Maybe he just closed the balcony door, Why he closed the balcony door, I don't know, because there was no reason for you to come back in the apartment. Well, I guess if he wanted to check that the air was on, because there's like a vent right next to the balcony door. So I guess maybe he just wanted to check if the air was on. Either way, you didn't have to close my balcony door. I never asked you to do that. It's nice, sweet, okay, fine. Balcony door, no big deal. But then, y'all, I go back into my room and the door's still closed. I told y'all I always close the door in my room and the bathroom door. So the door's closed. I come into my room and I'm noticing that my bedroom window is closed. So I'm immediately scared because as far as they know, every time they've been in here since my boyfriend moved in, he probably moved in like a couple months after I was living here. As far as they know, like, I'm living here by myself, a 25-year-old female living here by myself. That's very scary to me that you would come into my room. And it's not like I told him like, hey, my windows are open, if you could close. Like, no, I never told him my windows were open. There would be no reason for him to come into my room. Like, why would you assume that my window's gonna be open? Huh? Like, y'all, I was so scared that he came into my room. Like, I felt like violated because, again, like I told y'all, it's just me in my apartment. So you mean to tell me that you came into a single female's apartment to fix their air conditioning and you felt the need to go into their closed room for what? And don't tell me it was to close the window, because you had no knowledge that the window was open until you went into my room. So yeah, y'all, I'm immediately freaked out and I'm telling my boyfriend like, the window's closed in the bedroom. Like, this is so weird. Why would he go into a closed room? He's never went into my room for any reason. No. Now there is a vent in my room, y'all, like above the window. But again, any other time you have coming into my apartment, any other time you have came into my apartment and fix the air for me, you don't even come back in after you fix the air. It's one thing to check the vent. There's 2 vents in the living room, one in like the living dining room area, and then there's one in like the actual living room where like the couch and TV and all that are, right by the balcony door. Those are the vents you could have checked. You didn't have to come into my room and check anything. Like, if those 2 vents are on, I'm pretty sure the one in my room and the bathroom are on. I don't know if he went into the bathroom, but why are you going into rooms that are closed and it's not necessary for you to complete your job? Like, that just really scared me. So I'm going back and forth with my boyfriend. I'm like, you know, should I report it? Like, I don't want to say anything. And then this maintenance man starts being like spiteful and coming to my apartment when I'm not here, or when I am here, or when he thinks I'm not here. Like, I don't want him to be coming into my apartment. I don't want to rub him the wrong way. Like, you know, if you're a woman, you know, like, you have to go about talking to men and interacting with men a certain type of way, because they're unpredictable and they're fucking crazy. Like, I'm not trying to be killed over somebody coming into my room, but at the same time, I feel violated that you would come into my private room that was closed when it wasn't necessary for you to do your job, and you had no reason to go in there. So yeah, y'all, I was just scared, and I ended up calling my grandma and like telling her about it. And I was like, you know, do you think this is weird? Because at first I'm like, you know, maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe he came into my room to just check the vent. But it's like, you've never done that before. So why, now that you know that I'm gone and out of the apartment, would you come into my room? And then you felt comfortable enough to close the window in here. If I wanted you in my room, I would have told you, yeah, you can go into my room, do all, like, no, I never told you that. I just wanted you to fix the air and that's it. I'm so glad I figured out how to do this voiceover stuff, because I forgot, and I always forget to put stuff in. But I just wanted to add, like, the reason I wasn't like super scared and like going crazy. Well, I was scared, but you know, I wasn't like going crazy or anything, or like thinking the worst at first, because every time this maintenance man would come by, he was super nice. We would always have like little conversation for like the short time that he was in my apartment. So I never felt like he was creepy or scary or had any bad intentions, but it did still creep me out that you would come into my closed room while I'm not at home, and you've never done that or tried to do that while I've been home. So my grandma was like, yeah, you know, that's creepy, that's scary. I would definitely say something. So I'm just like, thinking it over in my head. I'm just playing it over, and I'm like, I don't really want to say anything because like I'm scared. And so y'all, I really sat on this for like 2 weeks and I didn't say anything. And at this point, my boyfriend was working third shift, so he would not be here at night. I would be in here like sleeping on my own and all that. And I got so paranoid to the point where I was literally putting the latch over the door when I was just sitting in here. Like whether I was asleep or not, I'm putting the latch on. I didn't want to come all the way back to the room and sleep. I would sleep on the couch and let my boyfriend like wake me up. Sorry if y'all heard geese, they're so irritating. But yeah, y'all, I was just so paranoid. Like even if I would take a nap like during the day, I would make sure the latch was on, everything was locked. I'd make sure the little stick was in the balcony, you know, like how you put it behind where the door slides so nobody can get in. I'm locking the windows. Like, and mind you, I'm on the 2nd floor, but I was just that scared because you invaded my privacy and you kind of violated me by coming into my private room. And to your knowledge, I'm a single female living on my own. And thank God, y'all, my underwear are not where you would think they would be, because I really feel like he would have came in here and smelled my panties. Like, like that's literally what was going through my head. Like, did he do some Mr. Crab shit and like steal my underwear? Like, I'm just so confused. So yeah, y'all. Basically, after those 2 weeks of like me being super paranoid, I was like, you know, I have to reach out to the office because I'm scared to even call maintenance to get anything else done unless I'm here at this point. So I wrote an email to the front desk. There's like 2 girls up there, so I felt more comfortable like talking to them versus like reaching out to him. So I messaged them and I was just like, hey, you know, I live in this apartment and I just wanted to let y'all know that when I put in a work order to get my AC fixed, someone came into my room and closed my window. And I was just like, I don't think it's necessary that he came into my room to do his job. And it really like creeps me out that I'm a single female living alone and someone felt the need to come into my private room. And so I was just like, I don't want to like accuse him. I'm trying to like lessen it, you know, versus how I'm really feeling. But I was like, you know, I don't want to accuse him of doing anything or that he had any foul intentions. But like, I would just appreciate whenever something's done at my apartment that my room is not entered and I no longer want them to come here when I'm not here. So basically the lady was just like, oh, he probably came in there to check the vents. I wouldn't think too much about it and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, girl, he's never had to come in here and check the vents. It wasn't necessary for him to do his job and I don't care. You've never came into my room before, so why would you feel the need to come into it when I'm not here? That's the main thing on my mind.
Sorry, y'all, another voiceover, but another thing I wanted to say is like, for you as a woman to like try to diminish what I'm telling you as if it's not like scary or creepy, when I'm pretty sure if you were to have a man enter your home and you lived alone and he came into your room that was closed while you weren't there, you'd be scared as hell. Like, don't try to diminish how I'm feeling or try to say, oh, it was probably this, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, that should be taken very seriously.
So I was just like, yeah, whatever, but make sure nobody comes in my apartment when I'm not here. So even now, y'all, I still put the latch on the door if my boyfriend's not here. I don't know what these people are gonna do. And then since then, I've actually had maintenance come like while I've been here, and he doesn't even call me anymore. He doesn't leave pink slips. And that was the weird part too. Like, you didn't even leave me a pink slip or anything like on the outside of my door. Sometimes they would do that if I wasn't here to let me know like, you did enter my apartment at this time and you fixed the problem. He didn't leave anything. He didn't even let me know that he came. He had just called me that morning saying that he would be coming by sometime today. That's very scary. Like, I don't know. I still be thinking about it. So yeah, y'all. There's been multiple times that he came and like fixed something and he didn't even come into the apartment to fix the AC. Like, the AC was still out at that point. I was still calling them about this AC. Even like this year I was calling them about it because they never had fixed it. Thank God it's fixed now. But like, literally I had called them and had him fix it multiple times and he never came into my apartment again. So my thing is, if you could fix it without even coming into my apartment, why were you coming into my apartment in the first place? Like, he wouldn't even call and say it was fixed. Like, I would just feel that the air had started. Or I would like hear him pull up in the van and then the air will be on. Like, so you're guilty because yeah, you definitely were doing something in my room that you had no business. And now, oh, I'm not playing like that. I got a Ring doorbell. I went out and got a Ring doorbell because the door we have, there's only one lock on the door and then that latch. So if I leave, I can't put the latch on the door. So who's to say if this man sees my car gone that he's not going to come into my apartment while I'm not here? No, ma'am. I went and paid $70 for a Ring doorbell hooked up to my phone and my boyfriend's phone. And don't play with me. I'm checking that Ring all day long. Y'all, that really scared me. Let me know in the comments if y'all have had like a creepy maintenance man or anything like that. Like, he never came off as creepy to me though until this situation happened, because I just feel like, you know, you had no business coming into my room, and I don't care if there's a vent in here or whatever. You can use whatever excuse you needed. There was no reason for you to come in my room at all. At all. Like, there was no reason. So yeah, that's the story time about how my creepy maintenance man came into my room while I was gone and sniffed my panties. And no, I'm just playing, but how he came into my room while I was gone, and it just really made me feel uncomfortable, especially when, to your knowledge, I live alone. So make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, leave me a comment down below if you've had any experiences with like creepy maintenance people, or, you know, just anything like that. People coming into your home or your room when they're not supposed to be there, or you've been out of the house. Whatever stories y'all have, let me know. I would love to hear them. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Go to the Drake, whatever they gonna play. It's high, niggas won't take.